Live from the top of the beautiful towers at Merle Hay Mall, all 6 stories of it, it's Faithworks Live!
Let's listen to Mikey. He has great guests on his show. Let's listen to Mikey. You'll learn things you didn't know. Let's call in to Mikey and ask him a question or two. Because I know that Mikey wants to hear from you.
Nobody can put a jingle to a beer tune like my mother-in-law. That's Linda Curry, and she knows her beer tunes.
I have met your mother-in-law. Now, my suspicion is that she's actually a teetotaler. I can't imagine she's ever had a sip of alcohol in her entire life.
I don't know that she has, honestly. I mean, I've known her for a really long time, and she has been alive for a really long time. And I don't think that she's done.
You're just winning all the points right now.
I love my mother-in-law.
And rightly so.
I do. She lives all the way over in Illinois, and I love that. And I love her so much.
Going down fast.
That's right.
You guys are just interpreting this all in the wrong way.
Oh man, it must be. It should be doubly good. It's a Friday. We're getting ready to go in the weekend. It's a long weekend for many people. Memorial weekend.
I'm just bursting with excitement about today. I'm just ready to explode. I mean,
you look almost like you're on fire.
I know. I'm gonna pop. I mean, It's just exciting. This is really awesome.
You've had drool dripping out of the corner of your mouth now for the last 3 or 4 days. Yes.
So it's Friday, and what else can we talk about on Friday other than fireworks?
That was really lame.
That was the worst firework sound. Oh, that was
good. Much better. That was much better.
That was amazing.
He's clearly a pro. Jonathan is clearly a pro.
Okay, so Chris, you know our guest more than me. Introduce our guest.
This is Jonathan. Jonathan is with TNT Iowa, right?
TNT Fireworks, yeah.
TNT Fireworks, and you are our guest today because we're going to talk about fireworks. That's all we're going to talk about today.
That's fantastic.
And we're going to hear a little bit about your story. And for those who are listening or wondering why are we now we have Facebook listeners who are outside the state of Iowa.
Sure.
So for those listening outside the state of Iowa, which is not the majority, but for those folks, I want to say just recently, and you guys know when exactly, in fact, Jonathan, you know exactly when, it just recently became legal for us to sell and buy fireworks here in the state of Iowa.
Correct.
When did that happen?
Towards the end of the session. The session ended towards the end of April, like April 20th or so.
And I think it was like May 5th, May 6th, something like that.
That's when the session officially ended?
No, when Branstad actually finally signed it.
Oh, when he signed it.
Yeah,
when he signed
correct.
it. Okay, I'm thinking about the end of the session.
Yep.
So, yeah, that makes it official when he actually signed it.
And that's really exciting because that means that now folks in Iowa can legally be able to buy fireworks for the first time, ever?
All right, attention. I got to go on a rant just a little bit, though. This is important. I have had to drive to Missouri for a long time. And nobody understands the hardships that I have gone through.
The suffering.
The pain of that 2-hour drive and, going across the border, going into the big red building there and buying stuff and then coming back and feeling like I'm doing something wrong just because there's a law. This is
setting a good example for your kids.
Exactly. In fact, let me tell you this story. Okay. My son, Jonathan, was telling me a story where he was attending church and they were out as a church group one particular year, a number of years ago, watching fireworks. So he was sitting next to the preacher of the church and they're in lawn chairs outdoors and they're watching fireworks. And so the preacher leans over talking to my son. He's like, hey, every year my dad, he used to go get fireworks and drive and, break the law and, get these fireworks and set them off. And my son's just kind of nodding, listening. He goes, I just don't know, man. I just really, my dad did that and I feel kind of guilty about that. And John's like, my dad does that every year. So, and I got to tell you, I think this is communism. It's communism to tell me I can't blow stuff up when I want to. And I mean, there's certain limits on that, obviously. But hey, if I want to blow off my anything, I want to blow fireworks up, I should be able to do that. This is America.
It is America. So since we're kind of going down this rabbit trail, I have to go around the room now and ask everybody, what is your favorite consumable firework? Do you have a favorite?
Well,
consumable?
they all get consumed.
I guess consumer grade.
There you go.
I'm sorry, consumer grade
Right.
firework. Not that, because in terms of the big giant explodey ones,
Right.
I like the ones that have the late bloomers inside them. The big giant. I don't know what they're called. You probably know there's technical terms for this. But in terms of consumer level fireworks, Chris,
Bottle rockets,
the bottle rocket,
without a doubt.
Now, have you ever, Mike?
Yes.
Be honest.
No, I have.
This is on the radio.
I know
now.
where you're going, and yes, I
Please.
have.
That's just. You've shot bottle rockets at people.
And had them shot at me. Now, we don't condone this activity
No,
at
we do
all.
not
No,
condone
that's
this
not
activity.
safe.
This is
That's not the
absolutely terrible.
manufacturer's expressed, way to, do these. But oh my goodness, bottle rocket wars.
Have you've really
My
done
childhood was like every summer in Florida growing up.
Yeah.
Yes, and we've shot BB guns at each other too, and
Oh,
that's
my
wrong
gracious.
too.
That is terrible.
And I don't condone anything that I'm telling you I did. It's very unsafe and
So
bad.
you're telling me you've done that which is wrong willfully?
Yes, I did.
I mean, this is just
I did.
confession time. It's just you and me, Mike.
It's just us.
What else would you like to confess today?
Well, since we're talking about fireworks, when I was in 6th grade, I flushed down the toilet of Clear Lake Middle School a M80 and shut our school down for several days because I blew up the sewer system.
Oh my!
I didn't know it would do that much damage, honestly. I didn't. And so this is very, very wrong, people. And I feel
like-
very bad.
I feel like you were influenced by TV and movies and stuff.
I got to tell you something. If I had done that today, I would be at Gitmo. I mean, I would be questioned,
That's also true.
Are you
yeah.
part of the Islamic? It would just be bad. So this is a really terrible way to go into this conversation. But hey, we're going to talk fireworks and the safe way to use them, because what I did was wrong.
You did. What you did was wrong.
This is what
Yes.
not to do.
It is what
Exactly.
not to do
Exactly.
with fireworks. So, Jonathan, tell us a little bit about why you love fireworks so much, and maybe even how you got connected with TNT Fireworks. Wherever you want to start, basically. There's a really open-ended question there.
Yeah, it is. Basically, my connection with TNT specifically is, I was in Bible college, so I've been
Where'd you go to Bible college?
Apostolic Bible Institute.
Apostolic Bible Institute.
in the
Never
Twin
heard of it.
Cities. Yep.
Okay, cool.
And
Just north of here, then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
To a Texan, it's really close. See, anyway, continue. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jonathan.
But so I don't know. I think it was my second year in college, and my brother had just started he was like 2 years behind me, and he came to me one day. It was nearing the end of our semester of the school year, and he says, "Hey, I got this interesting idea that I want to bounce off of you for doing a summer job." And I was like, "Okay, what's that?" He says, "What do you think about selling fireworks?" Okay. And I said, "So tell me a little bit more about it," because I
You
didn't really.
immediately sense the call of God.
Yeah, absolutely.
When anybody says fireworks,
I didn't even have to go to the altar for that one.
Exactly.
I was like,
I mean,
never
God
hear
is
ya.
calling me to
Right.
them.
But and that was really kind of where it all started. I was like, okay, so tell me more. And basically the way the system worked was, TNT, their program is they give you, they basically give you a truckload or a tent load of fireworks, and they say, here, we want you to sell these. And then by the time you're done selling them, then you just pay us for what you sold and return back to us what you didn't sell. And so there's no upfront costs. So for a Bible college student or any college student, it's like, well, yeah, I got no money. You're telling me I can make free cash over a couple of weeks? Yeah, this is great. And so that's what we did. And it was, this whole segment is probably going to be full of puns, but it was a blast doing it.
That's so cool.
It's almost unavoidable with fireworks because
Yeah.
they really are so fun.
Yeah.
They're explosive. But so this is how you got started. Was you and your brother did this
Correct. Yep.
in Minnesota at the time? Obviously, it was illegal to
It
sell and
was.
buy fireworks.
And
here
we
in
were
Minnesota.
probably had one of the best locations in the state. And I can't remember the exact city. I think we were in Maplewood, Minnesota, and we were in the parking lot of a Cub Foods, and it was the best location in the state. I'm actually being facetious because Because let's put it this way: at the end of the night, at 9 p.m. every night, we noticed there was a police officer stationed out in front of the Cub Foods, and after a couple of nights of this, we kind of were, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Well, it was not a good part of the neighborhood. And so, like, people had been shot in that parking lot. But
Wow.
but it was great. But we had a good time, though.
And you were standing inside a fireworks tent.
Yeah, it was great. But really, truly, though, we didn't have any issues as far as any of that was concerned.
I have a question.
It was good. It was a good time.
You're standing in a fireworks tent.
Yes, sir.
And you're selling this. You did this for more than one summer.
Yeah, so just real quick, the 10-year. I mean, I did it about 4 or 5 years in a row, and my brother got my family doing it, and my family's been doing it for the past 10 years, actually.
So did you ever have anybody walking in and they got kind of maybe a white stained T-shirt on, and they got a big cigarette hanging out of their mouth, just meandering through the thing? You ever had that happen to you?
Never.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
You have. Okay.
Absolutely. And you've got signs posted everywhere, too, and you just kind of tap them on the shoulder and say, no smoking fire. And it's the funniest reaction, too, because they're not even thinking. It's just a normal part of their life.
Right.
And they just walk into a retail location, not even thinking, because it's not every day you walk into a fireworks tent.
Right.
And
it would be for me, baby.
if you had the opportunity. And and they have this epiphany moment, and this light bulb moment that just goes off in their head, and they're like, I am so sorry. And then they step out. It's funny. It's great.
Now you get being a fireworks tent, you guys are a little bit more open air. I've been into these roadside ones. They're these giant warehouse type ones, and those, honestly, I get a little nervous being in there for too terribly long, just because you're inside. I'm sure they're well protected and all that, but with it open air, does it feel a little bit more safe, do you think? That's a weird question. I don't know. That's
sure.
Yeah, we'll just go with yes.
Yeah.
I think when you're sitting on a quarter ton of TNT, doesn't really matter if it's open or closed.
It's not gonna.
This is all very safe.
It is very safe.
Fireworks are always
very
safe.
Open escape exits.
Exactly. So when we're talking with Jonathan, and he is here representing TNT Fireworks, and they are coming to Iowa, baby. And I'm so excited to kind of talk about really what that means, what that's going to look like, and it's just an amazing thing. It makes me want to cry because I'm emotional about this. I believe we have had to do this for so long. I am so excited about fireworks in the state of Iowa. We have needed this for a long time, and I just want to say thank you, GOP, for doing something right. You brought fireworks to Iowa. America.
The traffic on your way home may be stop and go, but the conversation here never slows down. You want to be a part of it? You can call or text 515-727-KTIA.
And you're listening to FaithWorks Live, and I am your host, Michael Damastis. It's Friday, and we are talking fireworks in this studio, baby. It is so amazing. I'm so excited. Chris Roloff is like just bursting.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do like Ric Flair or Macho Man. Woo! I just can't figure out. Like, I think that's more Ric Flair. Like, it's exciting.
It is exciting.
It really is exciting.
It's amazing. And so what we know is, this is what we know. We know that the GOP passed they kind of got it pushed through, and the Democrats, they're such party poopers.
They suck the fun out of everything.
I know. Why?
But we don't have to worry about it anymore. That's the great. Just let them wander.
Okay.
Let them wander off in the corner.
So not but we got the law passed. It was signed into law. So asking you, Jonathan, what do we know right now? I mean, about the legislation in Iowa and the state. Well, because I know there's still some more finality that's coming. Actually, I think this next week, we're going to hear maybe some more stuff on that. But what do we know exactly about the law?
So far, basically, we have a time era or a time limit where we can actually both purchase and sell, and then also where you can actually legally shoot them off. And so basically that's from sometime in June. I think it's June 13th is when we can legally start selling.
Right.
And then through July 8th is that time frame when you actually can legally shoot them off.
Okay. So from June 13th to July 8th, you can legally shoot them off.
Yeah. Actually, I think, and again, I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. I think it's June 1st you can legally start shooting off fireworks.
Oh, really?
Don't quote me on that. I could actually be wrong on that one.
Okay.
But I know that
But there is a time frame.
There is, yeah.
For
it's
sell
not,
and having fun.
Yeah, it's not year round.
Well, and it's probably a good rule of thumb. I mean, once you see the TNT fireworks stands up,
Yes, correct.
you can buy them
Right.
at that point. if you see the TNT fireworks stand up, you can go there and buy them, and then you can take them home and blow them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that's really cool too is that
I mean, that's just an easy for guys like
Makes sense for me and you, yeah.
that way we can remember, right, Chris?
Right.
Okay, continue, guys.
the other thing that's really cool too though is and that we didn't have this in part in Minnesota, but is they actually have an open season as well for between Christmas and New Year's.
Oh,
Right. So you can purchase now if you wanted to and save them through into, Christmas time. We
Right.
actually I was talking to my brother on the way down here and he reminded me that there was one guy that he does that. Like he went and bought fireworks in July and then went and he saved them for wintertime. And you're like, you don't shoot off any for 4th of July? He says, one or two maybe, but not really a whole lot. I wait till it's cold. There's no mosquitoes.
oh,
It gets dark a whole lot sooner. You don't
Yeah.
have to wait till like 10 p.m.,
Yeah.
It's like that was his whole philosophy. You're like, that's really smart.
Yeah.
So
wow, that is really wise because I will tell you that
Baby Jesus and explosions.
I can't think of a better way to celebrate Christmas. That's fantastic. But now that's in Minnesota is the case. Is that you think that'll be the case here? We don't know yet.
no, here for Iowa, there is a selling season and an illegal season for shooting them off between Christmas and New Year's.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how many stands are going to be open
Right.
during that cold winter season. So now would be a good time to do that and stock up.
Right. Absolutely. Now
Load your basement.
Now, we talked about this a little bit, Mike, before we went to break, and I know we talked about it a little bit in the break. Jonathan is our guest. He's with TNT Fireworks.
Yes.
And I'm going to give you a website now. It's tntiowa.com. TNT Iowa. Is that right? Is that the website?
Yeah, that is the corporate website, I believe. And then what I have, if you're just looking for local information, currently it's tntiowa.com. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Yep, yep, I'm sorry.
tntiowa.com.
Yep.
And the reason why I want you to check that website out is because when you go there, and you can go there right now to tntiowa.com, you'll actually see that there's an opportunity for you, for your church family, for your friends to get involved in essentially what's a turnkey operation to run a TNT Fireworks stand here in the state of Iowa.
Right.
And you did that. So you were telling us in the first segment there, the beginning of the program, that you and your brother did that. You ended up doing that for several years over summer up in Minnesota.
Correct.
And you said your family's been doing that how long now?
It's been about 10 years. I think
About
it was
10 years.
Yeah, I think it was 2006
Okay.
or 7. Yeah, so it's been a little over 10 years probably.
Wow.
And that was, and you said when you and your brother first started doing it, you guys were just college students, right?
Right.
Wow, that's so tell us a little bit about that opportunity. If someone goes to tntiowa.com and they find a city in the state that's still open, a lot of the cities are
Sure.
getting rapidly filled up. What's that process going to look like from
Yeah.
your experience?
So TNT themselves, the company's been around. I think we're celebrating their 95th or 97th anniversary this year. So it's very long time, very well respected. And we work a lot with nonprofits and both individuals as well, who are selling for profit. But we really focus on the nonprofit side of things. So churches, youth groups, ministries, schools and sports teams, coaches, whatever, anything along those lines, the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, all of that. And the way they have it set up is that you can have that opportunity where you go in, we supply your location, we supply the product for you, we pull all the permits, we get all the the back end paperwork taken care of. See what else? We give you the tent. Really, all you have to do is be there to unload the truck of the product, set the product up, merchandise it, display it, sell it, and then return it at the end of the season.
I have some questions.
That is so cool.
This is stuff that I've always wondered. So you set up like this tent, and there's all this product out on the tables or whatever in the tent. What happens at night? I mean, do you just like close up the tent or something, or do you take all the product with you?
Yeah, good question. What we are doing this year in Iowa is we were supplying a storage container for every tent location. So every night you can actually pack that stuff up and put it away so that obviously so we don't have to, number one, otherwise you'd have to stay in the tent, which is what a lot of people have done in Minnesota. I've done that in Minnesota. So it's camping out for a little while.
No way.
But but what we're doing this year for Iowa is we've found that actually using the storage units is, well, number one, it's a huge help because that way you can just store everything up, go home, and you can actually sleep. You don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Yep.
What does a typical day look like if you're going to have a tent like that? I mean, what are your hours that you would be sitting in the tent?
We recommend that you do a 12-hour day, which I know sounds like a lot, but it's from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And if you wanted to sell more, obviously if you want to sell, you have to be open. But usually that's about what the time frame is. We usually recommend that you have at least 2 people there at all times. And then if you have peak selling times, which would be in the evening or even as you get closer to the 4th of July, so July 3rd and 4th, you would really kind of staff up. But this year, we don't really know what's going to happen as far as just sales in general, because usually, and again, my experience in Minnesota is that usually the first week or so isn't super busy.
Right.
You have people trickling through, and you sell about half your product.
Right.
Which is really great, and then you get to that tail end of it, and everything's just gone. Sales explode.
So
there you go. Right.
You sell all your product. It's not even July 4th. What does that mean?
That means you're doing really well.
Does that mean they're going to bring you more stuff?
Well, honestly. And so I did that a couple of times when we were in Minnesota as well. I mean, we got to a point where we had done a couple of years, so we kind of knew what would sell well. And we said, you know what? We need to do a reorder. So if you have that problem, which is a really good problem,
right,
it's just contacting the local rep, and we'll make sure that you got product to sell.
Well, if you're curious, I do invite you to go to tntiowa.com, tntiowa.com. You can learn more about this opportunity. We're going to talk fireworks some more, huh, Mike?
That sounds great to me. I'm exploding with anticipation.
Kaboom!
It's Mikey, he's better than TV. We're listening to Mikey, and best of all, it's free.
TNT, I'm a power load.
This is Mike Damastis, and that threw me off. This is Faithworks Live, and you're listening to a fabulous, explosive Friday episode. And we're talking about TNT, actually, and we have Jonathan in here in studio with us that is a representative of a fireworks company, and we had a text, and I want to address that text. So, Chris,
by the way, you can text or call us if you'd like anytime at 515-727-KTIA. That's 515-727-KTIA. KTIA on your phone is 5842 for those who are wondering.
Yeah, thanks for putting that in there.
Hey, Mike, did you know that people could call? I'm just kidding.
Okay, the text says, since Paul counts all not in the Lord's cause a loss, how are we tying this into the gospel?
So let me read that again, because it's a very odd, the phrasing, I had to have Chris Brass read that a couple of times. The texter claims that Paul says that anything that's not in the Lord's cause is a loss.
We're wasting our time.
We're wasting our time. That's a fascinating text. I'm not sure that I know what scripture that is. Do you know, Mike?
Well, yeah, it's in Philippians. Paul says, "I count all things rubbish." And that's what he's talking about. But he kind of went through his list of his apostolic credentials and everything that he had done and accomplished. But he says, "I count all of that rubbish, a loss, for the sake of Christ, because what we do for the gospel is way more important than all of that other stuff." And that's in essence, I think, getting to the heart of what the texter is wanting to communicate. Like he's asking the question: Are you guys wasting God's time and our time by talking about things that aren't gospel related? So,
well, I think that's a fantastic question, because the whole way that Jonathan and I got connected was because when he and I started talking, TNT Fireworks, when you started running a tent with you and your brother, you were in Bible college. This was helping out Bible college students fund their time as students, learning God's Word, becoming missionaries, serving the Lord full time. And your family has also done something in that respect as well. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. So my parents, they've used it to also support missionaries overseas and take care of some of the different schools as well. And I think my mom said some schools in Paraguay. So, I mean, there's all kinds of different ways that you can raise funds for ministries and also support. Again, a lot of churches use this for an opportunity for sending their youth to Bible camp or whatever,
Absolutely.
or supporting a missionary overseas as well. I know there are some local churches actually here in Iowa who are using this money that they're raising funds for a building project. So, wow. So all of this ties together in that way.
Actually, when, the thought is, well, how does this connect? I mean, we're obviously making some connections right now with this is connected because we can be, very wise, even as a serpent, and innocent as a dove.
Sure.
And we would want to be good stewards of the resource opportunities that are being provided, and we can help further the kingdom through these abilities that are being presented to us with this.
Absolutely. Right. I love that text very much because I think it reminded us to talk about something that we intended to bring forward here. And this is a great opportunity. If you go to tntiowa.com, if you've got a church or a ministry or an organization and you'd like to sign up to do one of these turnkey tents, and ironically, the same Apostle Paul who said this also was a tent maker. So,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And,
so you could be in a tent and sell fireworks just like the Apostle Paul. Anyway, so the website is tntiowa.com, and you can go there, and there are locations throughout central Iowa that are looking for people to sign up and actually run tents right now. And we're getting pretty close to getting started season. So if you're interested in this, go to tntiowa.com. And there's a drop down.
Will you look up on the drop down Muscatine? Because I have Bill wanting to know if they're going to be in or near Muscatine.
I'm looking. That's going to be in the M's, isn't it?
Yes, that would. Yes, because Muscatine starts
only
with
in the English alphabet.
Muscatine is listed. It is listed as claimed right now.
That's good. So, Bill, answering your question, yes, we will have a tent in. They will have a tent in Muscatine. That's all he wanted to know.
Oh,
if they're going to be
fantastic.
set up in Muscatine, because Bill is somebody like me, and not only do I not think that this is a waste of time, I believe that this is. It is really scriptural to actually have fun. And there's nothing more fun, in my opinion, than blowing things up. That's the best fun that there is.
I can think of things that are more fun than that, but
we'll
stay focused. We'll
stay focused. But this is really, really fun to light fireworks off and be able to do it with a clear conscience.
I just wanted to mention a couple of these cities that are unclaimed where they are looking for folks that are interested in running a tent this holiday season here coming up next month, actually. So in Ankeny, out in Carroll, and I think we've got some listeners that know folks in Carroll or in that area. Also in Clive, that's definitely in our listening area. Des Moines still has some locations. Fort Dodge, nope, that's claimed. Out in Iowa City. So anyway, go to tntiowa.com and look at that drop-down list. And if it doesn't say claimed, that's a city that could have a tent but doesn't yet, and you could be the one to run it. And we talked a little bit off the break. I mean, there's some pretty substantial amount of money that could potentially be raised doing this in a very short period of time, right, Jonathan?
Yeah, and I would even go as far as to say too, if there is a city that shows as being claimed on that website there, go ahead and fill out your information anyway, because we may have someone a little bit come in the next couple of weeks or whatever says we can't do it. I mean, we don't know. We've had a couple of people that have already circumstances for whatever reason they weren't able to actually sign on and continue through with it. Now, so I would recommend that you still sign up even if the area is already claimed, just to have your name on the list.
Absolutely. Now, Jonathan, for the rest of us who just love fireworks and want to buy them, where do you think we're going to be seeing these TNT fireworks stands popping up?
The majority of them are going to be in the Walmart parking lots.
Oh.
Yeah, so TNT has contract with Walmart.
America.
There's not much more America than that. Walmart parking lot and fireworks. I mean, that's just red, white, and blue all over it.
You can shop and buy fireworks in sleepy pants and slippers There's nothing more American
No,
than this.
that is, man, I feel good inside just thinking about that. I'm so proud of America right now.
We're proud of Iowa, too.
And Iowa, specifically. Very proud of Iowa. Very excited for the state to be able to have this opportunity. So, Mike, what are you doing? You texting somebody?
I'm texting my wife.
Oh, okay. We're not doing a radio program right now, so you just go ahead and keep texting your wife. But we were
Did you
talking
hear
about
that, Chris or Shannon? Chris is like getting on you.
So, anywho, we were asking. We're going around the table, and we didn't get to Chris Brass. I'm curious. Chris Brass, what is your favorite kind of firework that you would buy?
They were illegal, so I have no experience with fireworks at all. The closest I probably come to is a 50 caliber machine gun.
Oh,
That's not but that's a different
fun.
kind of.
Oh, believe me, you can light some stuff up with that.
Oh, I'm
50
sure
caliber, 50 caliber machine gun.
Just-
Yeah.
Holy mackerel!
he was in the military.
I know, but that's serious business right there.
That was not hunting squirrels in the backyard, I imagine.
Well,
It's hunting.
no, that was not the largest thing I fired. The largest thing I fired was a tank.
Oh wow!
But
That'd be fun.
oddly, you don't really hear much on the inside of the tank. That big explosion that you hear on the outside, you don't hear that on the inside.
Which actually, this brings up a really good point, too. From your perspective, I'd be interested in hearing what your thoughts are as a military veteran on the fireworks side of things.
Okay, I could tell you that I've met quite a few people that suffer from PTSD at the VA hospital.
Sure.
And virtually every single one that I've encountered, they cringe at the 4th of July coming up when it happens.
Yep.
But all of them, every single one that I've met, have all basically said, suck it up, tough it out. It's going to be just like a week time frame where you're going to be dealing with the explosions, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, and that's a big thing, too. In their, and we respect, all of our military in every way, shape, and form. And I would even go as far as to say, too, to anybody who is shooting fireworks off, be respectful of those around you as well, and obviously be safe. But our military are fighting for our freedom.
Absolutely.
And they understand that side of it. I fought to defend your freedoms and your rights. And really, ultimately, that's our goal. And I think that's great.
Yeah, and I think that that idea that you just said, being respectful of your neighbors and those around you, that's a big deal,
It is.
and if you're lighting off fireworks at 1 a.m. in the morning, that's probably not the coolest thing.
No,
to be
it's
doing.
no, but it is fun.
But
I'm sorry.
I think you just need to be aware of that, and you want to be known as being a good neighbor, and so those are important things. And of course, like you said, being safe, that's really the big deal, and those little things you guys give out, those little, what do they call those things, the punts or whatever they are, the sticks that you can light. So you're not using-
punks. Yep.
Yeah, punks. That's
Punks.
it.
Yep.
Punks. I said
Yep.
punts. Yeah. So that helps you light those things and keeps you a little safer. So hey, I am Mike DeMastis. This is FaithWorks Live. It's Friday. We're talking fireworks. I don't think anything's better than that.
I'm curious what your favorite kind of firework is. What are you looking forward to buying this season?
Yeah.
Give us a call.
Text us 515-727-5842.
I'm a power load. Watch me explode.
You feel that?
From Sailorville Lake to Southeast Polk, you know where to find us, right here on 99.3 The Truth, KTIA. Join us now by calling 515-727-KTIA.
I'm Mike DeMastis.
Was that a monkey? What was there? It's like a weird I don't know if anybody else heard that. It's like a weird monkey in the background. I'm sorry, Mike.
That's all right. This is FaithWorks Live, and we are full of fun stuff to talk about on Friday, fireworks. But I want to ask you a question. Did you know that a leaky faucet can actually, if left unrepaired, waste more than 3,000 gallons of water a year? Have you ever heard of a silent toilet leak? Silent toilet leaks occur when water does not appear to be running but is being released. Silent toilet leaks can waste thousands of gallons every single year. Nathan Shanks, the owner of Baldwin Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, sees problems like this every single day, and he can quickly, efficiently, and affordably help you resolve any of your plumbing issues. No problem is too small for him, and no challenge is too large. Call Baldwin Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today. Their number is 515-371-5600. 4036. That's 515-371-4036. So we're talking fireworks. We got Jonathan in the studio with us.
We are, and it's really funny. Before we came back to the show, we had a little bit of silence or dead air, and I had to laugh as a director of 99.3 FM. I don't like dead air. I don't like silence, but I thought, a lot of times if you're looking at a magazine, you see the unsold commercial that says this ad is for you. I just want to let people know that if you heard that silence, if you have a business, you could fill that silence with a commercial just for you. So that's funny to me. I don't know if it's funny to anybody else, but we always are looking for great ministries and organizations that are interested in partnering with us and promoting their products or service on the radio. Anyway, just a free. That was just a.
That's for free.
No
charge.
I'm not going to charge you for that, Mike.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's just a gift from me to you.
You're such a giving person.
I am. I'm really considerate like that.
So, what is it like sitting in a tent for hours upon hours and selling fireworks? Give me an idea.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're not sitting. Hopefully we got customers coming through. I think selling fireworks is actually a lot of fun. Because that's what you're doing is you are selling fun. You're not just selling fireworks. It's fun watching kids come in and their eyes are just, huge, and they're walking through and they're like, oh, Dad, can we get this? What does that one do?
That's what I'm talking about. And that's how I walk through.
Right. And then Dad walks in, it's fun because you can watch Dad walk in and he's kind of got his arms crossed and he's kind of looking around and his mom or his wife, standing there behind him. And she's kind of like, do we really have to be here? And he's like, yeah, I remember doing this stuff when I was a little kid. And that's actually a really special thing for him. Like he wants to share his childhood, with his kids, and so, and that's what you're selling. You're not just selling fireworks.
It's like the moment that you sit your kids down in the living room on the couch and you put Star Wars on.
Sure.
And you let them see Star Wars for the first. It's a special moment.
Right.
It's a unique moment, and that's like when you explode stuff for the first time with your children. It's really fun.
So I'm gonna have to. I just have to ask a really ignorant question, and maybe a lot of Iowans can relate to this. I did not grow up doing that. I did not grow up blowing things up. I did not do fireworks growing up. There's probably a lot of Iowans. Chris, you talked about this, right? It hasn't been legal to purchase some fireworks in Iowa for a long time. So if you did that,
we always followed the law when I was growing up.
Yeah, I'm sure. And but there are a lot of folks that maybe don't know. So what's the best way to do that? Because folks are thinking like right now, I'm going to go to a fireworks stand and I'm going to buy fireworks. Where do you go blow them up? That seems like a really dumb and ignorant question. But where does the family do it? How do you do it, Jonathan? How do you?
So that is a good question. So again, my perspective of what has been legalized as far as consumer grade here in Iowa, I'm not super familiar with either, because even in Minnesota, it was up until I was probably in my teens before fireworks were legal in Minnesota. We had fountains in Minnesota. So basically they're just, a huge, I don't even know how to describe them really, but they just shoot a bunch of really colorful sparks and crackles and loud whistles and all that. Depending on the size you get, the bigger they are. So that's really kind of more what I'm more familiar with. So yeah, the whole firecracker and mortars and Roman candles thing is somewhat new to me as well. So
I really
like. Good question though.
Honestly, I like the fountains too. They're fun.
Yeah,
they really are. You just set them down, and they're typically like that cone shaped thing. You got a light at the top, and they just sit there and spray and shoot. Sometimes they'll shoot stuff up in the air.
And those are super safe too, even just for your, if you're in a community or in a really close neighborhood. For my house, for example, one of my neighbors is about 8 feet away from my bedroom wall, and we can shoot the fountains in our driveway, and it's not a big deal. It's reasonably safe. Now, I would not be shooting mortars off or bottle rockets or anything aerial in a tight knit community like that, or even firecrackers, to be honest with you. But the fountains is really what I'm more familiar with, and they're still a great firework. People spend
and there's a
lots
lot
of
of cool little stuff though. I mean, like sometimes they'll put some little firecrackers in like a little tank, and it kind of rolls out and it pops and blows and shoots stuff.
I've seen stuff like that.
And those
novelty
are
stuff.
fun, man.
Oh man, yeah.
There's some really cool stuff. I remember buying one that had a round thing, and you lit it, and it spins up, into the air a little bit. And it doesn't go too high. I mean, just maybe 15, 20 feet up in the air, but it's just a fun thing to see and watch, and I love it, man. I love that stuff.
I think we have a firework fanatic in the house.
Yes.
I'm not sure if anyone noticed that yet or not, but
We also got a firework fanatic that sent us a text too. I got to read this. For your information, if you got that neighbor that doesn't like your noise making, you better buy enough to share with them too.
There you go.
How generous.
Interestingly enough, that's kind of what went through my head when you think about that. Getting fireworks and actually making it a thing that you do with your neighbors.
Right.
And honestly, that's a
Right.
really fun thing to do,
Right.
to pull it out in your driveway, invite your friends over, put the grill up, and just kind of goof off. What a fun thing to do in the summer. To be honest with you, I'm one of those folks that just didn't do that growing up, but
Right.
now, because this has become legal in Iowa, and we're going to have TNT fireworks stands in front of most Walmarts throughout central Iowa, this is going to be an opportunity for us to go and get these, and I'm genuinely looking forward to it.
So, connecting fireworks to gospel presentations. I mean, I'm thinking in my mind, the easy segue for you is, Christ exploded into my life on this particular day. He burst onto the scene with me.
A buddy of mine, and we used to come up with weird ways to segue into gospel presentations. My favorite one is if you see a guy wearing overalls, to walk up to him and say, the blood of Jesus covers over all my sins. That's the worst. Anyway, so terrible
Nice.
segues.
Well, yeah, but hey, I mean, it's if you're out there with your neighbors and they don't know Jesus, don't waste the opportunity. That's all I'm saying.
No, in all seriousness, and it's a good opportunity to get to know your neighbors and spend time with them because, let's be honest, we don't do that much anymore.
No, we don't.
Most of us don't know our neighbors all that well.
Right.
And it's weird to think fireworks could be the things that possibly bring people together. I mean, you could, if you got a bunch, you could just invite your neighbors, say, hey, tomorrow night or this weekend, we're going to pop some off and we're going to have hot dogs if you want to come just hang around or see them or whatever. What a cool way to get to know your neighbors. That's
Absolutely.
that's kind of, to be honest, that's kind of exciting. And I think I might do that.
It is, and you will love it. And I'm excited for your daughter because she's going to have so much fun.
I'm afraid that I might become an addict too.
Oh, yeah.
Once you
don't be
go,
afraid of that. That's a good thing.
It is.
Just embrace that. Embrace that. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things to do. I really enjoy. I don't know, like you kind of tapped into it a little bit, just the idea of doing this and the connection to your family and certain moments. And there's just something about that summertime. And I don't know, man, it is an incredible thing, being together and enjoying things that are fun and they're bright and they're sparkly and they're, it's just all of that. There's just something about it, not to get, too feminine about all this because it's very masculine to blow things up, but I just really mean that. I some of my greatest memories with my boys when they were young was just we're lighting stuff off in the driveway, and they're having a blast. We're just everybody's kind of doing their I know
They're unavoidable at this point.
but
Sitting in the backseat of the squad car,
no, but those moments where we're all just kind of, oh, I like that one, oh, that one's so cool, that thing. You don't get that all the time, man. And so that's a really cool adrenaline experience. And so I'm excited. And I'm excited for TNT. They're coming, to Iowa. They're going to be selling fireworks. I can't wait, man. I think that's fun. I might even look into this myself.
Right. And Jonathan's here right now. There is still opportunity for folks if they're interested not only in buying fireworks, which is coming up soon, but if they're ever interested in running a tent. That is an opportunity. It's a turnkey opportunity for churches, for ministries, for nonprofits.
Yep.
And if they're
No
interested,
upfront cost.
And no upfront cost, which is thank you for that. No upfront cost, which is pretty tempting.
Yeah.
So if you're curious about that, you can sign up online, tntiowa.com, tntiowa.com. Easy to remember. Just go there and sign up.
Hey, I want to thank you, the listener, for being out there and just riding along with us on this Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. I just pray God's blessings on you and your family, and we'll see you again on Monday.